What's up, everybody? Gonna do a heavy equipment mechanic toolbox tour update. And we'll start with the big box here. Here we got all my deep 3/4 sockets, 7/8 to 2-inch extensions, and cheap ratchets if they came with them. These are just Grip brand, but they work awesome and I've had no issues with them. This drawer is just a bunch of junk, paperwork and stuff. This drawer's got some measuring tools and some tire tools, dial indicator, and feeler gauges, tape and junk, piles and piles of bolts. Don't look at that. And then like a tool bag and some more junk. These are the def cap, or the def jug spouts. I keep those to put on oil jugs. Oil and coolant jugs for tight areas. Here's all the sockets that aren't in my cart now and stuff. So we got torque wrenches, a bunch of random junk. My old Husky swivel sockets that I've replaced. Cornwell swivel socket I found in a machine. Seen better days, obviously. Some assorted metric 12 points. 1/2-inch chrome metric doesn't get used much. 3/8 chrome metric doesn't get used much. 1/4-inch metric occasionally, probably occasionally. I don't use a ton of 1/4-inch. Here we got a Matco 3/8 that I've replaced. Some 1/4-inch ratchets and a 1/2-inch breaker bar. Some extensions, wobbles. Matco bit set. Don't use a ton of Torx or E-Torx. I use the Long Allen sometimes, but I don't use. I've replaced these short ones. So some more. So these are some assorted standard 12 points, standard chrome, standard 3/8 impacts, standard 3/8 chrome, standard 1/4-inch. Obviously, there's a lot of standard in here. I rarely use it, so that's why I got more metric in my cart than standard. You'll see that later. It's wrenches that aren't in my cart. Metric ratchet wrenches, a bunch of junk. Random stubby ratcheting. Stubby wrench set. The jumbo crow's feet from Sunex. Let's see there, 1 1/16 to 2-inch. Gear wrench standard ratcheting. Matco crow's feet from 3/8 to 1-inch, sorry. And then my Matco standard wrenches, just the regular standard wrenches here, 3/8 inch and 1/4. Don't use these ones a whole lot. And you'll see why in a little bit. Random mini angle wrenches. I don't even know where those came from. All the pliers that are in my cart: filter pliers, C-clamp pliers, snap ring pliers, a bunch of pinch-off pliers here. I got some of the metal ones here and some of the plastic ones you can see. Some people like the metal ones, some people like the plastic ones. For me, it kind of depends on the situation. Sometimes one or the other works better. And some pliers that I don't use too much, and a scissors. Some random junk pry bars, random pounding tools, files, T-handle Torx, those come in handy sometimes, picks, and some Allen keys, quick connect tool there, some extra hammers, empty drawer. This is the snack and grease gun drawer because it's the only place it fits. This is I've had this for a while now, I guess, but new since the last video, and I don't think I could live without that thing anymore. This other bottom drawer, got some chains and pullers and engine turning tools and form a funnel. Gotta have a form a funnel. Some filter wrenches and strap. And then a hammer, excavator hammer, accumulator charge kit. My massive electrical drawer. Multimeter, important thing. Everything else, kind of junk. One of my favorite drawers, Milwaukee light, Milwaukee drill. CT761, that's not in my cart anymore, you'll see why in a little bit. Matco half-inch, that's been through it. Thing works good though. Some Matco die grinders, snap on your hammer, bits and drill bits and junk. Snap on 3/4 MG1250, that thing's awesome. And then some extra batteries. Over here, kneeling mat, seat, creeper. I got caps and plugs and everything under my bench over there. And then a bunch of other stuff in my cabinet here, lifting straps and chains and stuff. Alright, here's the top of my cart. Oh, I guess I forgot the side of my box here. Got big pry bar, line-up bar, a smaller pry bar, 16-pound Husky sledge. That thing, the Husky, I'm really impressed with these Husky hammers. I got another one you'll see in a minute. Some chemicals, tape measure, heel bar, picks, scraper, little pry bars, blow gun, short 3/8 Matco ratchet. Use that quite a bit actually. 1/2" and 3/8 extensions. The 30-inch Matco ratchet. Gotta have a long ratchet here for heavy equipment. Brush stuff loose. Tag out keys. Paint markers and junk back there. The metric 1/2" impacts up to 24, and then I got a 30 over here. Gotta have a 30. These are new since the last video. These are the 3/8 impact from Expert by Mac. And then junk shorts that I don't use a whole lot. And then here's the replacement for those Huskies. These are the snap-on wobbles, and they're all oily because I just sprayed them with WD-40 because they're starting to rust in this Midwest humidity. But I'm really liking these over the Huskies. They're expensive, but I've always told myself I'd never buy a set because they're so expensive, but I'm glad I did. And the reason I like them over the Huskies, which the Huskies I think are just gear wrenches, but you can see these are the pinless ones. I don't know if you can see, but there's so much slop in these pinless sockets. So that's okay on an impact, but if you want to use them on a ratchet or something like that, it's a real pain. We got the stuff that's usually in my shirt pocket because I'm getting ready to go home here. The Mac Packer pry bar and Streamlight are the only thing of notice. That I've had that for so long. My most used ratchets here, besides the big one, my 30-inch, and then the short 1/2", and my snap-on 3/8 that replaced the Matco. Standard 1/2" impacts. Don't even use these a whole lot. This is also the only standard sockets in my cart, and I just use just for some of the bigger sizes. Some adapters and a wobble back there. Standard and metric impact Allens. The Icon 1/2" drive Allens. These are amazing. I'm not a big Harbor Freight guy, but I would definitely recommend these. I paid $40 for this set, 1/2" drive, 6 to 19 millimeter. Same set as the Snap-on, like same sizes and everything. $40. The Snap-on set is like $400. Right here, and I haven't broke one of these yet. Here we've got the RBRT set, 4 to 10, 1/8 to 3/8. I do it 3/8 solid 3/8 drive. I like them. You're supposed to, they say to use them every time. Sometimes, on the small ones, on some of these small ones, like 4 to 6 millimeter, and then 1/8 to 1/4" probably, or 1/8 to 7/32. If it's a really tight, really tight one, and it's a small one like this, they'll cut into the corners, and then it'll be tough to ever get like a regular Allen in there after using these. So these are kind of like the flank drive wrenches, in my opinion, is what the RBRTs are. They're the flank drive of Allen sockets, pretty much, but I like them. Here we got my most used pliers. Mostly Snap-on, a couple Matcos in here. I like these big ones, all these big Snap-on. Some screwdrivers and some picks over here, and a trim tool. The power tool in the cart. Half-inch Milwaukee, use that all the time, it's amazing. The M12 stubby replaced the CT761, and I love this. I use 6 O's on it. This thing's incredible. My only regret with this is not buying one sooner. Honestly, I wish I never would have bought the CT761. I just would have bought this. And then the Snap-on ratchet. Honestly, don't use that a whole lot on equipment as much as I thought I would. And also, the reason I even bought this in the first place is all my 14.4 batteries are giving me trouble. We'll see if it does it right now or not, but yep, you can see it right now. Yep, there we go. And now it kicks on. So they kick on these batteries for some reason when they get, it's worse on the impact especially, but the batteries, the connections in the batteries, I guess, are getting bad or something. So when the batteries get shooken or bumped, they just stop, and then you gotta sit there and jiggle the battery until it works, and then it'll work for a second, and then it'll stop, and it'll work, and it'll stop. And I've tested it with other coworkers' batteries, and both the tools are fine. So if anybody wants to buy some 14.4 Snap-on tools for cheap, hit me up. But the tools are good, but the batteries giving me trouble after only about a year, so pretty disappointed in that. Wrench door in the cart, I think 6 to 32 mil metric, and then this is why I hardly ever use my regular standards. I got the Matco angle wrenches. I like them better, one, because they're smooth jawed. Don't buy these Matco wrenches, these new Matco Taiwan wrenches with the flank drive in it. They suck. This open end sucks. Their attempt at flank drive, not good. So, and most of the time I'm using standard, it's hydraulics, so I'm using angle wrenches anyways. And then a couple adjustables. We got my jumbo wrenches down here. Punch set, some more bigger punches. The 4-pound Welton dead blow. The second one's holding up better than the first, at least. 4-pound Husky sledge. I love these Husky hammers I got, and they're cheap. And then just some jumbo channel locks. And then down here is just some random blocks and a whole bunch of junk and an extension cord. So that's my updated setup for working on heavy construction equipment here, guys. Thanks for watching.